The Mid-Continent Tower is one of the most recognizable buildings in Tulsa, Oklahoma, but most people don't realize that this building is hiding a big secret in plain sight. Today, I'm going to build this building to scale in Minecraft while I tell you about its convoluted history, extravagant, no compromising design, and unexpectedly interesting engineering. The Mid-Continent Tower is a 36-story neo-Gothic tower on the corner of 4th and Boston in downtown Tulsa. But in the past, things were different. For example, this used to be called the Cosden Building, named after this strapping fellow, Joshua Cosden, who had a lot of money and a lot of ego. Because, you know, oil. Oil? Joshua was a hoity-toity oil boy who wanted to build a big boy business building. So naturally, he approached architect Cass Gilbert, who had just finished designing the tallest building in the world, the Woolworth Building in New York. Cosden loved the overly fancy neo-Gothic detailing of this tower, which just screams, we must be doing something at least vaguely unethical in order to have this much money. Cosden was all about that. According to the Mid-Continent Tower website, Tulsa's most flamboyant oil man would build for himself a corporate castle grand enough to match his personality. So in 1918, they did just that, and Gilbert designed Cosden the towering 16... Wait, hang on, that's not right. It's 36 stories, right?
Wrong!
I forgot to mention in this graphic that the arrow is actually only pointing to this part of the building. The Cosden building was only 16 stories. But wait, what about the other 20? Well, actually, those were built 66 years later, so yeah, there's a lot more to the story. But we'll get there, just stick with me. Also, you should press the like button because you have nothing to lose, unlike Cosden, who had everything to lose. In 1925, his company was forcefully restructured. He got fired from his own company. And Cosden & Co. was absorbed by Mid-Continent Petroleum, who decided to change the name of the building to, you guessed it, the Mid-Continent Tower. Joshua Cosden left Tulsa for Fort Worth, with barely anything to his name, where he rebuilt a small fortune only to lose everything once again during the Great Depression. He died penniless of a heart attack on a train in 1940. Back to the Mid-Continent Tower. It was purchased in 1977 by another oil company, Reading and Bates, who for some reason didn't change the name of the building. They did, however, understand that this building was originally designed to be Cosden's flex on all the other oil companies. However, Reading and Bates was a little butthurt about all the other counter-flex buildings that other oil companies had built since. So in 1980, Reading and Bates decided to honor Cosden's legacy by doubling down on the flex. And by that, I mean they added 20 stories above it and gave it a cool hat. Wait, hang on. Can you really just go in and add 20 stories to the top of a 60-year-old building that's only designed to be 16 stories in the first place? No, you can't. So naturally, the architects hatched the insane plan to copy and paste the original building, then cantilever the top 20 floors over the old Cosden building without actually touching it. Nah, I'm just kidding. That would be cool, though. Wait, that's actually what they did? Holy shit. This company, led by Charles Thornton, went to insane, painstaking lengths to make sure that their new cantilevered monstrosity of a building would blend perfectly with the old Cosden building and seem like one perfectly normal, continuous skyscraper. Thornton sent executives to Spain to find the exact same quarry that the 1918 marble had come from, in an attempt to match the extravagant materials and finishes that Cosden had once ordered. Cass Gilbert's intricate terracotta detailings were mirrored and emulated in the new edition, and the neo-Gothic language he set forth was built upon all the way up to the copper rooftop. Although I kinda think that Gilbert would be a tiny bit appalled with the new asymmetrical, haphazard form of the overall building, but that's beside the point. By the way, the price of oil crashed while they were in the middle of building this insanely expensive addition. But Thornton was in too deep, and he was insistent on finishing it. Who do you think was more insane, Thornton or Cosden? Let me know in the comments. Overall, this building has stood for over a century in some form or another, and has served as a symbol of wealth, power, ego, and oil. And some other stuff has happened to the building since the addition was built, but for now it's pretty much just a multi-office space managed by BAM Properties. So if anybody's looking for some office space, make sure to hit them up. This is not a sponsored video. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed. If you want to see me build more real-life buildings, click this thing. And if you want to see some survival Minecraft, click this thing. And if you're still watching, there's really no reason not to subscribe, so click on that as well. See you later.